In the day of Jesus, the weddings, of course, were special moments. And for the couple, it really meant everything. I remember being stationed in Mexico as a young priest in our mission in Saltillo and Arteaga, and had a wedding. And when we got to the gates of the village, the whole village met us. Everybody. In fact, everybody in the area was there. And they escorted us to the church where we had the wedding ceremony. And then after the wedding, we had the celebration. And they would literally spend everything they had on that celebration. They'd be poor for the rest of the year. And of course, during that celebration, there was plenty to drink. Now in Mexico, instead of wine, they would have cerveza, beer. If they were to run out of beer, it would have been a disaster for them. In a similar way, in this gospel, Mary finds out. So it's a wonderful moment. You just have to pause there. Mary's been invited to the wedding. Mary, the Mother of God, has been invited to the wedding. And she approaches Jesus, and it's kind of one of those moments where you have a mother asking a son, and you get a response from Jesus saying, "It's not my time yet." And she doesn't question it. She just simply turns to the servants and says, "Do whatever he tells you." Wow. She knew something special could happen. She knew something special could take place at that wedding. And of course, as we know, as the gospel continued, Jesus changed the water into wine. Now, the reason it was important is because had they run out of wine, it would have been great shame for the couple. Big time. In fact, their names would have been present in everyone's conversation for the rest of their lives, literally. So Jesus was loving them by changing the water into wine. Now, I never changed beer into wine in Mexico. I can tell you. Never changed it. Never changed it. However, the invitation of the gospel is for us to have that same kind of relationship with Mary, to invite her into our homes, really invite her into our homes, to invite her into our marriages, to invite her into our relationships, if we're single, to let her be present. And then to hear her say to us, "Do whatever he tells you," because the miracle is going to happen. Do whatever he tells you, because he's going to work a miracle in your life. Because we also, with her, invite Jesus into our homes. We invite Jesus into our marriages. We invite Jesus into our prayer lives. And he will work miracles there. A couple of suggestions for us. If you aren't doing it now, you may be, have at least one family meal together a week. At least one. And during that meal, yes, it is a time of prayer, so pray together. But more importantly, the question really is at the meal, and share this with each other, what has God done in your life that week? How has God touched your heart in that week? How has God moved your spirit in that week? Both in your marriages and in your families. You will find it makes a huge difference. There's a couple I know that moved into a new house. I'm not going to tell you where they live. I'm not going to tell you the name. But they moved into a new house. And of course, the discussion became, what's going in the house, all right? And of course, the wife had a lot to say, all right? And wives, you should. But the husband insisted on one thing. He wanted a picture of Jesus in the living room. That began a discussion, intense discussion. Eventually, the wife said yes. Well, that yes actually changed their lives because they found that the picture in the living room became a topic of conversation every time someone came in. And they had one particular neighbor that came over and they said, you know, that picture of Jesus, his eyes follow you wherever you are in the house. It's amazing. And they found that a great peace came upon their home. They found that slowly but surely little miracles were happening and little healings were happening and little blessings were happening in their home. Especially as they shared in the meal they had at least once a week of faith sharing. It makes a difference. So we come back to the beginning of the gospel. Imagine you are inviting Jesus, first his mother, into your marriage. You are inviting Jesus into your family and into your home. You are inviting Mary, who says to us in your homes, do whatever he tells you. And he's told us to love God with our whole heart and soul and mind and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. In those moments, when we invite him in, the miracle happens. And it happens for each of us. Married, single, family, in whatever way, small, big. Pray during this Eucharist, and during this Eucharist especially, invite Mary into your life. Invite her in. Let her say to you, to each of you, and to me, do whatever he tells you. Amen. Amen. Glad you said that, otherwise I was going to keep going.